G'day and welcome back to Down the Shed with Byron. Today we're working on the old rig again. That's right, my old GQ Patrol. So if you watched my other video with the rig rundown where I was rattling off a heap of things I wanted to tidy up on it, I've finally gotten around to doing it. And I wanted to share with you guys some of the upgrades I've done, how they've gone, what I'd do different for next time, or would I even do them. So come along and I'll show you what I'm up to. Start off with a quick one. I upgraded the rear trailing arms, but the bushes flogged out, so simple, just change them out. But the one drama I had was I had my auxiliary fuel tank in the way. So a bit of advice, if you're thinking of putting these arms in or thinking of putting a fuel tank in, I'd be running the bolt from the outside in. So, hopefully you can see that. You put the nut on the inside, tighten that up, so future, when you've got your auxiliary tank up, you can pull that back out and change those bushes, especially if you're on like a dirt track somewhere and you have to pull that out and get it sorted. That'd be a pain in the bum pulling back out when it's full. But then just make sure you've got enough clearance between your fuel tank and that bolt, because you don't want that rubbing on the side either. So just some things to think of when doing those rear trailing arms. So I'm also replacing the clutch, which I pulled out the other day and took the flywheel off. And I took it down to the machine shop. Thank you very much to those guys. And old mate just goes, "This hasn't seemed very hard work." He said, "I'd just buff it and send it." But I was like, nah, it cost me 40 bucks to get the guys to do a quick buzz over it just to clean it up. So then that way I know it's sweet to go. My next upgrade is my front brakes. So I've just ordered a seal kit and front rotors, which are to suit the TB42 EFI. And my mate Griff, legend, you gave me these, I think, 8 years ago, which weren't going to work for me. But now I can finally use them. The old marketplace, I found a whole diff assembly for 150 bucks with the EFI brakes. In between all my other bits and pieces, we've got the twin piston caliper and the backing plate, and that's pretty much all we need off of that. So I'll strip them off, rebuild the calipers, backing discs, clean that up, redo my wheel bearings, and then throw it all together. I might make a quick video of just hanging out with Bizer again down the shed doing the front brakes on the GQ. Yep, the engine's out. It's amazing what you find wrong once you pull bits and pieces out. But I pulled that out just to do the clutch because it's a little bit easier for me on my own. I don't have a hoist, obviously. And while I'm there, I was going to just doing the rear main seal, which I'm not too happy with that surface area there. Yeah, hopefully it stays sealed. Drop the sump off because the back section here, I'll try and put a photo up at the same time, but you can see that wetness there was leaking. Now this is a non-genuine sump gasket, so I've brought a genuine. Now anyone that was following me from the very start where I did the turbo upgrade to the old Gel, which has been one of the best things I've done, Garrett Turbo with a DTS system and a G turbo manifold. Oh, that's done the best thing to this thing. So I done the sump oil drain, and the way I done that was I had one of those Christmas tree drill bits, and I just drilled it out to I think it was like 24 mil. I could be wrong, but and then the fitting would just start, and I just went around with a file, cleaned it up, and then I put a bit of 3-bond around it and just tapped it in because it's brass with the thread sealant on it, which was 3-bond. Worked really well. Tapped it in and just bottomed it out. So here's proof that it did work. But if you are doing this job, I'd advise trying to get it braze welded in. There we go. So the only bit of wetness there was appeared to come out of the hose. So let's have a look up here. I don't know if this is common, but the hose was just sweating yeah, that's it. Now we do have another little upgrade that's meant to replace this black pipe, so stay tuned for that one. Thanks to Safety Grandpa. The fan upgrade I done, which is one of those Mitsubishi fan hubs that goes off the front, Mitsubishi fan. That's been good, but this has been the second time I've had to replace it. So you can see it's broken a part of one of the blades off, and you can see it's just been, get my finger right, just been rubbing on the fan shroud. So I did, obviously under flex, it must be hitting the radiator or the bolts that actually hold the fan shroud on, but I can't see how. But obviously it is. Still running the standard radiator out of a GQ, brass copper. So you can't see anything on these stabilising straps of evidence of rubbing. But on the fan shroud, you can see it up here. So what can I do here? So I might change, I might get that a little buff off, and I might put a touch of, I don't know, like just a sticker flex or a sealant just in here. So as it locks down onto the top of the radiator, sort of holds in place. And I think I might make some sort of cable tie rigged up system, or make a little bracket that holds it to these other bolts, holes. So that way there's nothing on the inside there. And I'll trial that. But really that's the only drama I've had with that fan. Otherwise it's been good. Got a few other jobs I'm doing on the Patrol. Just your basic service. I've done the fuel filter, oil filters. I've got the door Bailey channel seals to replace, and I've got the brass hinge kit to replace. So I'm going to do that on the passenger side door. So the old wife, she sometimes says when we're driving doing road trips, she can hear like the wind coming in through here. So what I want to do is obviously start with the door hinges. You can't really see, but yeah, replacing those brass bushes that go in there, and I'll work on these Bailey channel seals and replace them. So that's a couple of little jobs I've got to do. Engine bay, I want to tidy up some of the wiring. You know, when you fit the spotlights and then you replace your headlights and then you upgrade the wiring, and you just keep adding fuses. I just want to tidy that up. Nothing major. Onto the engine again. I'm just going to rip the rocker cover off, do a quick valve set and replace that gasket. But I'm bloody spewing because I had a couple of, from one of those auto shops, the glow plugs. I picked up 3 or 4 of them on clearance for $2. Yeah, Bosch glow plugs, $2 each on clearance, so it was $8. Do you think I can find them? Does anyone else do that? You put parts there and you're like, righto, I'll get to that later. I've searched high and low looking for them, and I found heaps of others to sort out. Sometimes it's the little things like just the glove box lock now. Yeah. Oh, of course it won't happen now. Now it opens and shuts. Yay! I found a spare mirror that I broke. So yeah, hey, how you going? Yeah, so that's about it. I thought I'd just, you know, a bit of an update and some of the upgrades I've done and how good they've been. I've also done the rear brakes, and I've ordered some new brake calipers for those. So if you've seen that video, that's what I've done. I've ordered some new brake calipers for the rear. The handbrake I'm going to adjust. I might make a video on replacing that, but we'll do that on the debuild rebuild, which we'll get around to. Just been busy. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Just something for smoko, lunch, or even if you're sitting on the shitter. Take it easy, and I'll see you when I'm looking at you.